Across the globe, people gather to celebrate culture, creativity, and connection. From street fairs to convention halls, music fests to the running of the bulls, every event has a story worth hearing. This is the story of those events. This is Event Explorer. I'm your host, Daniel Roth. Today we are heading to the Adirondacks for one of the most spirited winter traditions in the country. The Saranac Lake Winter Carnival has been bringing people together for more than a century, powered by volunteers, ice cutters, artists, and a community that knows how to celebrate the winter season. We will dive into how this event comes to life, what makes the Ice Palace so iconic, and why the carnival remains a proud point of identity for the Saranac Lake region. If you enjoyed this show, please follow Event Explorer on your favorite podcast platforms and share the episode with someone who loves great festivals. All right, bundle up. Let's go visit Jeffrey Branch in the Saranac Lake Winter Carnival. Jeffrey, welcome to the show. I am glad that you are here. We're here talking about the Saranac Lake Winter Carnival. It's one of the country's most enduring winter traditions and shaped by hundreds of volunteers, lots of creativity, and most importantly, a community that shows up no matter how cold it gets. I'm excited to hear all about how it comes together. Welcome. Jeffrey, you've been with the festival now over 2 decades. You've seen a lot of cold winters. Well, when did you first get involved?
I first got, and thank you for having me, first of all. But, it's hard putting an exact year on that I got involved, but I believe it was somewhere in the mid-1990s. But I mean, I go back as a kid with my parents who, I'm 63 years old now, and my parents had a little bit involved in the Winter Carnival also. But, as far as me personally jumping in, I think late 95, 96 to be safe.
So 63 years for most people and most festivals of someone to have touched it would be the majority of the years it was open. They'd say, wow, you've really seen most of the festivals. With the case of Saranac Lake, that's nearly less than half of the years it's been in operation. How long has the festival been in operation up in Saranac Lake?
Well, this year, 2026 festival, which is in the February, will mark our 129th year. You'll have to do the math from there, but it's a long time, and it's a big piece of Saranac Lake's history and our culture. It's just something that we do and we enjoy doing.
What was the area like at that time? Like, what was the motivation for having this festival and staging this for the community?
So the Winter Carnival actually started as a way to relieve blow off steam, if you will, when the people were up here for the tuberculosis cure. It was a way for them to get outside because, as you know, TB, the cure was to get as much fresh and cold air as you could. And what a better place to do that than Saranac Lake. And it just started that way. Get outside, play with the ice, have different skating events outside, parades, get a little fresh air and get the cure.
So these are people, coming with upstate or coming out of the city, out of New York and different cities. Is that what's the distance like for, were people coming up there on the train or kind of driving up at that time? Was it a vacation spot?
Back then it would have been mostly by train. It was a little hard to get up here by car, I would assume, but a lot of train and out of the New York City area. Although I've read stories, people coming from all over the world to come up and get Dr. Trudeau's cure and help get rid of their TB.
I see. Very good. Well, definitely of the time, and that's kind of a different inspiration for a festival than a lot of others. Started from a malady, but then turns into something great. I imagine it grew over the years. When did it become its own thing and really start being the area being known for this over the winter?
Oh, I mean, that's a great question. I would say in the mid 1960s, it became more of a area event, more of a known event. Prior to that, it was pretty much a local event. 1960s, it started growing. I think now, in the last few years, we've been as large as we've ever been. Some would tell you it's too big. Some would tell you it's not big enough. But I would say started growing in the 60s. We kind of hit our peak a few years ago, and we kind of plateaued out where we are now.
Great. Well, it's, a sustainable reflection of the community. Obviously, it's drawing
Mhm.
tourism, which, we've heard about in other events as a conflict for, serving the local community versus being a draw and boon for businesses. Um, So, just for those who haven't been, what's a good overview of the carnival itself? I know it is unique in the idea of the thing. I think we're interviewing you on the location of the Ice Palace, which is something
Sure.
super unique. What are those core pieces of the Saranac Lake Winter Carnival that really make it such a standout event?
Well, the Ice Palace is considered what we call the centerpiece of Winter Carnival. The Ice Palace is constructed on the shore of Lake Flower. The ice is pulled right out of Pontiac Bay, which is on Lake Flower, stacked up. The Ice Palace is built, and at the end of the season, we push it back in the lake. We say we're recycling it for next year. Other than the Ice Palace, our Gala Parade is probably our largest event, where we have thousands and thousands of people come up every year just for that. Hotels are full, restaurants are full, Airbnbs are full. I don't think during that week of Winter Carnival, I don't think you could fit any more people in Saranac Lake. Great boon for business. It's just a wonderful event. A lot of camaraderie, a lot of fun times.
What's the history of the Ice Palace? So that's kind of this really centerpiece thing that's so different from other winter festivals. When did that start? And can you go into a little bit of the detail of the scale of this?
I can say, and I'm going to get in trouble for this because the dates are a little iffy or they escape me sometimes, but the first Ice Palace, I believe, was constructed in 1898. It was called an ice tower. And the construction of the Ice Palace was kind of a side effect when we used to harvest ice out of our lakes up here in the Adirondacks and put it on trains and ship it down to New York City. So they would use it for refrigeration and other things. It was kind of just a way they would stack the ice up until the trucks would come and haul it away. And who knows who started it, but at some point, somebody thought it'd be a good idea to start making designs out of it. And that's where the Ice Palace grew out of. We've had palaces with towers as high as 60 or 7 feet high. At the very first Ice Palaces, you could not walk in. They were more of a facade and supported from the back. Now you can walk through. They're interactive. We have walkways. We have stairs. We have towers. We have thrones for our royal family, the royal family being people selected by the community based on their volunteerism. We have a lot of events based on and around the Ice Palace itself.
Wow. So now we're looking at this winter's Ice Palace. Is this kind of an evolved design? Is it a new design every year? What's it looking like coming together for this year?
Well, I haven't really seen it yet. It's an evolving design. We have a group of designers that kind of get together. We meet usually mid-December, and we kind of sketch out our design. And actually, it's done in the local pub. And the original design is sketched out on a cocktail napkin. And, from there, we just start building. It's greatly, it changes greatly depending on weather and volunteers and, timing. But, the basic footprint we lay out, just a bunch of men and women getting together and saying, hey, what do you think?
Gotcha. Okay. So this is a community sourced design, and I imagine the building of it takes all hands as well. What's that process like? Do we see chainsaws out on the ice and big machines and that kind of deal?
Well, the first, now it's based. Now we have. Well, the first thing people should know is the ice saw that we use is the same saw I've been using since I believe 1934. It's the only thing the ice saw is used for now. It's brought down, and we start cutting the blocks, 2x4, 2 foot by 4 foot blocks. We judge the number of blocks that we cut by the number of volunteers and what the day's work plan is. Sometimes we end up running out of ice early, and sometimes we end up putting on the ground and using it the next day. But it's all drawn right out. It's pulled out of the ice pallet, out of the Pontiac Bay, lifted onto our tractors by a skid steer, and not a skid steer, an excavator, dropped in the buckets of our excavators and our skid steers and brought over to the Ice Palace, where those operators will drop and the builders will drag it and set it, and the slushers slush it in to freeze it together. And we use about 3,000 blocks of ice a year. Each block weighs, depending on the winter, the thickness between 500 and 700 pounds.
Massive. So this is big, but also, obviously it's serious business, but it sounds like kind of a lot of fun. Something people look forward to every day. That's almost as much fun as going to the festival as building this ice palace.
For a lot of us, the building of the ice palace, the weeks before Winter Carnival, we consider our festival our Winter Carnival. Once Carnival starts, a lot of us get busy running things. I think the most important thing for people to understand about Winter Carnival and the Ice Palace build is we are 100% volunteer based. We don't use tax dollars. We don't use any revenues or grants to build it. It's all based on sponsorships, donations. We sell trinkets here and there, but it's 100% volunteer and 100% paid for by the committee, and no money, no tax dollars are used to construct it.
Sure, but I imagine business owners are rallying around this. This is 10 days that can save them, in a winter season that can be pretty brutal up there.
Oh, it is, and business owners are very generous, and it's always what can we do to help? And it's impressive and heartwarming to see that. And we'll be working on the cold days. A local restaurant may show up with a pot of chili or some soup and some rolls, and drop it off for us just because they want to do their part, and that's what they can do. We'll have people. We have people driving up from New York City, from Massachusetts, and actually renting out rooms for a week just to help build the ice palace. It's that special of an event.
That's incredible. As far as kind of how this defines winter, or what Saranac Lake and the community is known for, is this something that just feels like something that's really interwoven into, how people see themselves as a resident of the area? Do you see that kind of weaving through even, elementary schools and kids growing up with this like you did?
Sure. I mean, I see, our school kids come down every year, and it's actually part of their yearly classes where they'll come down and they'll tour the Ice Palace, from the youngest grades, 1, 2, 3, third grade, tour it. A lot of them will come back and help work on it when they get old enough. Our local vocational school, every year they'll bring the kids down and help build. It's genuinely a community event, and it's something that is inviting and open to all ages of adults, children, anybody who wants to come down. And I think like my own kids, I started bringing them down here when they were 6 and 7 years old. And this day, they're 22 and 26 years old. They still come down and help every year. That's just part of it. It's something that's built into them. It's grown into them.
So someone, I haven't been, I would love to visit because I know this is a really unique festival. As someone's kind of planning their trip up to the area, how would you recommend they kind of look at their week, or what vacation plan would be to really enjoy it, get the most out of it?
I would first recommend they check out the dates of Winter Carnival. This year, the coronation is on Friday, February 6th. The opening fireworks on February 7th, which is a Saturday. And the closing fireworks are on Sunday, the 15th. Gala parade is on the 14th. But I would just suggest they look at our website, and our calendar is not complete yet. As we go, we add events, we take off events, but checking back and see what is there that might kind of you'd like to see, and plan your vacation, plan your trip around that.
Awesome. Well, it takes a special person to weather the elements, over all these years, but it sounds like a lot of fun, and it sounds like something, I mean, just majestically beautiful, obviously, with fresh snow on the ground, the fireworks and the lit up ice castle. So this is definitely, I'll definitely want to share some pictures and some video, from past years, get people excited about coming up and seeing the palace that's built this year. Very good. So what, just as far as braving the elements, how do you get people coming back year after year? How do you what's the
very good question?
Yeah.
There's been some years. I mean, I think the coldest parade that I was involved in, one of my roles is to organize and run the parade. I think the coldest parade I was involved with was like 52 below zero. it's hard to prepare for that.
Yikes.
Well, it was actually probably one of the funnest parades I can remember, because only the truly hardy and what I call the true believers got in the parade. We dispensed with all sorts of schedules, and just as soon as you step up, you walk through the parade and get back down to the town hall where you can get warm. It's a lot of fun. I've also been involved in parades when it's 50 below or 50 above in Ring. So
I see. Depends on the year. How does a winter carnival parade differ from what people would traditionally associate with blown up balloons and cheerleaders?
A lot of characters.
Batons.
People anxiously await the choosing of the theme of each. I should explain. Each winter carnival has a specific theme. This year's theme is cartoonable, kind of a mix on cartoons and carnival. And people start looking for the theme, and I think we pick it in March or April, the year prior to the carnival. And because they want to dress up, they want to have the appropriate costume, a lot of costumes, a lot of dressing up, building floats that are theme specific. And themes really do help to make carnival. If you have a great theme, you have a lot of participation, you have a lot of excitement. If you have not such a great theme, you can actually see the numbers drop down. So I think this year's theme has been a rival anything we've had, and I really look forward to it.
Yeah, I can imagine a lot of color, a lot of costumes that people may poured over from Halloween or just their favorite characters. Yeah. They get to embody them through the winter. I imagine that's kind of part of it. Is that's I live in Michigan. It's the same thing of the winter blues or whatever. And this is really designed, as much as thankfully tuberculosis isn't a scourge anymore. The winter blues are pervasive. That you've just been sitting in your house for a couple months. So I imagine if you can put on your Mickey Mouse costume or whatever, they're gonna. It's just a really uplifting time.
It's a perfect cure to cabin fever, which we all get up here. No sun, lots of snow, and just want to get outside. I think one thing that this year's theme and most themes really add to carnival is it's really generational. I mean, you can have kids as young as 4 or 5 years old who have their favorite cartoon character, and old guys like me who have my favorite cartoon characters, and it's something that everybody can relate to.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining today. I'd love to kind of ask your elevator pitch, or if you meet someone down in you're down in the city to go see a show, and they say, where are you from, or what do you guys do up there? What do you say?
If I tell them about Winter Carnival, I think the one thing I tell them is, if you come once, you will always come back. It's addicting. It's fun. It's there's no pressure, no politics, no nothing. Just come up, have fun, relax, and guaranteed you'll always want to come back. And one of the things we have, even people from my era in high school, they always come back for Winter Carnival. It's infectious. That's the best way to explain it.
I love it. Well, I appreciate you taking the time today. I think people are going to be really interested in this, and it gives something, as we're kind of broaching into a little snow on the ground here, and the northern half of the country is going to take on the winter here. Yeah. It is something to look forward to. It's kind of, whether we're born into it or we chose it, it is home, and it's part of our lives, and why not decorate it with a little color and a little majesty, So I really appreciate the work that you do up there, and your volunteer team of dozens, hundreds of people that put it on.
Hundreds, yeah. It's an incredible group of people, and I appreciate that.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Jeff. Thanks again, and take care. We'll get this out and get everybody up to Saranac. You might have to build another hotel or a couple more Airbnbs after this comes.
Well, there's always Lake Placid can always take our overflow.
Awesome. All right. Take care. Thank you. That was our conversation with Jeffrey Branch from the Saranac Lake Winter Carnival. The history, the teamwork, the pure joy of this event remind us that great festivals are built around people who care. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to follow Event Explorer and hit subscribe so you never miss a new story. You can find all our past episodes featuring festivals from across the world at eventexplorer.org or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. Thanks for listening. I'm Daniel Roth, and until next time, happy exploring.